91.9 Bago Bashment presents On Board the Embassy Tobago Carnival Boat Ride Week.
Tobago Carnival Boat Ride Weekend.
Boarding at the Pigeon Point Jetty. Kicking things off from the 24th to the 30th of October. Walk with your food and coolers. Come experience October 24th. Pan on the boat. October 25th. ISO on the boat. October 26th. Chutney on the boat. Tickets are $200. Available at islandetickets.com or 91.9 FM Tobago. The party continues October 27th. Water on the boat. October 28th. Power Soca. October 29th. Groovy on the boat.
October 30th.
Juve on the boat. Tickets are $200. Available at islandetickets.com or 91.9 FM Tobago. For tickets, call 814723-363-4030 or 368-1932 or check us out on Facebook at Embassy Cruises for bookings or email at embassycruises@gmail.com. Tobago Carnival Ride Weekend.
Carnival Ride Weekend.
Want to furnish your home in style? Stylus Furniture makes this possible. Shop using our affordable layaway options to purchase any of our modern sectionals, dining, living room, or bedroom sets, and receive a dinner voucher for two at Ateliers Restaurant and Lounge. For further information, contact us at 652-2542, 652-2688, and 790-1202. You can also visit any of our branches located at 101 Crackness Village, Princestown, and 51 Rushwood Street in San Fernando. Stylus Furniture, for the style in you.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ill, and you could get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost home.
Good, that boat ride looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat ride look like it was wet.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
Well, a pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the Street 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. Pleasant good morning going out to my entire family. Good morning to the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Ramin, and their entire families. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on with us, it's always a pleasure to have you guys right here on the inside with us. Let me also say good morning to my friends and family in Tobago. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing great. Pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. Auntie Pat, good morning to you, my dear. Good morning to my special person. Pleasant good morning going on to the management and staff of the Street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iowa George and his entire family. So as I open up the lines to give you morning greetings, you can call me at 342-0081 and 466-5391. Caller, good morning. Hey, lost it. Call me up. Can call me back. I'm right here. Don't worry. So 342-0081 and 466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Bruce Wayne.
Good morning, my dear. How are you this morning?
And how are you today?
I am great.
Yes, I am all too. By the grace of the Lord. You know how it is. Everybody to the Chicom, I would like to tell everybody a pleasant morning. And I would like to shout out Alicia and her husband, Ricardo and Precious. Good morning to you all. What a blessed morning. And I would like to tell my Prime Minister a blessed morning, he and his wife and his family. Foster Cummins, Shak Lady, Mr. Napuna, and Manu. Everybody, good morning. And Sharon and Mommy Sauce. So they have a blessed morning. And everybody, Trinidad and Tobago, Merry Christmas. Okay? Yes. And have a good day today.
You too,
all right? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Caller, good morning.
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 Because of who you are,
I give you glory. Because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and sing. Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Thank you.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Lift up the trumpet, be joyful and sing. Jesus is coming again, coming again, coming again. Jesus is coming again. Yes, Pilgrim, cheer up, Morning, Bruce. Morning to everybody. Morning to Sharon, wherever. Good morning, Pastor Street. Good morning, Gilford. Good morning, Miss Jean. Good morning to everybody, Viper. Come on over. Good morning, hey, Zena. What's up taking place with you? Yeah. Good morning to Miss Faizabad. Good morning, hey. Yeah, man. Everybody, only wake up. No more sleeping in bed. Time to make a new man. Make a new man of yourself. Do something good with yourself. Yet ending to start a practice to build a new house. So when the year has started, you're already in a new house. So, you know. Yeah, man. Good morning, Mr. Chance. Good morning, Jenny and Carol. Good morning. Mr. Bataya, good morning. Brother Sterling, good morning to you. Yeah, man. The people of Bonnet Gardens and Mount Hope. Hey. Yeah, man. Love to everybody. Dominic, morning to you. Bruce?
Oui.
Have a nice one.
You too, my brother.
Love
Take
to
care.
everybody.
Caller, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, my brother.
Morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
Good to be in the land of the living.
Yeah, man.
Blessed morning to Sharon. I hope everything is all right with the sister. Morning to Dominic. I was to miss out on Sunday, why? Pantrin Bego meeting. It was a good meeting. Everything all right. Cooper static.
Yeah, man.
Let me say morning to Sister Jenny. Sister Carol. Mommy saw Shack lady, Miss Faizabad. Boy Mano. Brother Sterling. Rowley Jr., Brian. Our constituency group, Mr. Barataria. Dr. Nadjujan, my brother, so much to call. No among St. George. I'm out of here. Can't move from my radio. Always on. You have a safe and blessed day.
Yeah, man.
Aye.
Caller, good morning.
Bruce, good morning to you, my dearie.
Morning.
How are you doing, Bruce?
Hi there, cool.
Hey, boy, I just tango this another day. What happened? Dominique called you this morning?
Yes.
I'll wait to call back Dominique, man. I'll speak about Granny Corporation again. I'll wait when he come in. Bruce, have a good one.
Yeah, no problem. Caller, good morning.
Morning, my brother.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
Hi there, cool, man. What's going on?
Yeah, it's cool. They are watching things. Make another one again. I ain't complaining. Right, I just had to go through it and hope I make tomorrow again.
Yeah, man.
I could make another call like this. So, Salman, good morning to you, my brother. Overman, good morning. Male Guru, good morning to you. Female Guru, good morning. My financial Guru, good morning. Party Street, good morning. A boy from South, man. Oh, God, Brian, good morning. Oman Oga, good morning. Stego Martin, everybody, good morning. And Mother, good morning. Goose, with the financial guru And let's see how the day goes.
Yeah, man.
Be safe, my brother.
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Brucey.
Good morning, my dear. How are you this morning?
How are you?
I good.
Them children good?
Yeah.
All right, darling. All right. Oh, man, Olga, good morning. Sharon, good morning. Angie and... Oh, God, East Rangan is East. I can't remember she named and fighter band. Anyhow, 2 fighter bands. Good morning. 585, Mr. Malcolm, good morning. I'm so anxious. Okay, darling. Morning, Bussy again. Love you. Bye. Let me go and do my work.
Later.
Love you, darling. Yeah.
Love you too, darling. Oh, gosh. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Uncle Bussy. Morning. How you doing today, man?
I did cool, man. How you going?
I'm good. Bless the Lord that we are all up and could praise him and give him thanks. You know, all the titans. Morning. Sawaman, I just heard you, Mr. Manu. Morning. Professor Chance. Morning to you and your family. Uncle Dominic, morning. Know you'd be there just now with Uncle Brucey. Auntie Sharo, morning, my darling. Morning. Keep getting better and better every day. We miss you for the week, but we know you're coming back strong. God is good. He's on your side. My Prime Minister, love you. You and your family, morning to you all. Blessings. Rowley Jr., Barataria, Brian, all the nice people. All the ladies who shout me out, man. All of Tobago, my Tobago crew, they know who they are. I don't have to keep calling their name all the time. Morning to you all. Love you all. Have a good day. Uncle Brucey, I have a roast corn this morning again. Soon as you light the fire, I'll be jumping in. You and Uncle Dominic.
Yeah, man.
Right. Good. Nice.
So let me take this time out. Yes, let me take this time out to say good morning to Mr. Dominic Romain. Morning to you, sir.
Morning.
Yes. So can I what to do? Start the paper. Give you your time to say good morning, or start the papers? What to do?
No, go ahead with the papers.
All right, cool. So guys, we're gonna get into our online papers for today, Tuesday, the 4th of October, 2022. I'll take one more call before I do that. Caller, good morning.
Oh, Lord. Thanks. Blessed love to you, Mr. Bruce. No longer trying. I get your back. Yes. So love to you and your family this morning, Mr. Dominic, Miss Sharon and the family, Mr. Professor Chance, Mr. Iowa George and his family. Blessed, all blessing goes out to him again. Always 91.9 having us here on this radio station. Because without him, there is nothing. Yes, so blessed love to Mommy Sauce, Iva Angie, Mommy, Miss Thomas, Shak Lady, Tanapuna. Blessed love to Deep South, Barataria, each and every one of the Titans family. Blessed love. My four corners. Past the street, move up, Beatum, Tumacock, Paradise Heights. Gonna start back. Stop it for me, please. Stop it. Bring Jesus in your heart. Think about Jesus. I tell you, Satan on the loose. Stop it for me, please. Because I'm not feeling so kind of good in my feelings about things that is going wrong in Trinidad and Tobago. Too much bloodshed. Blessed love to my Prime Minister and his family and colleagues. Hold on to that balance between Mano, blessed love to you, my dear. Gemma, blessed love. Mr. Bruce, thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
Right? I call because it's of my feelings. It start back again in this area again. So, Mr. Bruce, thanks again.
No
right?
problem,
On lockdown.
Nice, you take care. So guys, we're going to get into our online papers. And in the headlines in the Express, Paradise Lost. Cops kill 4 bandits after home invasion at gated Mayaro community. So let's get in on the inside. Paradise Lost. Police killed 4 men and are searching for at least 3 others who pounced on the residence of a businessman and his family in a quiet gated community in Mayaro. Hold on, let me get in. Hold on. In Mayaro yesterday morning. The 4 men were killed on the perimeter of the businessman's townhouse around 9 a.m. in Crystal Park, Beaumont Road, during an exchange of gunfire with police. Right, so continuing. Shamfa, $59,000 cell phone bill unfortunate. Sports and Community Development Minister Shamfa Kojo says the $59,000 telephone bill she racked up because of roaming charges was unfortunate, but hold on, we get in. Right. But the country would never forget the wastage of taxpayers' money under the Kamla Prasad Bisesa-led People's Partnership government. In her contribution to the budget debate at the Parliament sitting yesterday, Kojo noted that opposition leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa had spoken of the roaming charges she had incurred. Faris, we are feeling it. The pain of adjustment has to be shared, as there is no escaping the reality of price increases which are impacting everyone, the government and the citizenry alike. Man held for loaded pistol. A 31-year-old man of Tunapuna was arrested by police for possession of a Beretta pistol loaded with 17 rounds of ammunition. Carney Savannah Road alert. The Ministry of Works and Transport wishes to advise the public that there will be temporary traffic disruption along the Carney Savannah Road from Carney, from Carney roundabout to Carney flyover. And okay, this would have been yesterday. Right. Drivers warned to look out for car insurance fraudsters. There has been an increase in the number of reported incidents of fraudulent motor vehicle insurance certificates. Therefore, the Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago Insurance Companies, ATTIC, is asking owners to be extra vigilant. EPA wants OSHA probe into Pennywise heist. Alleged Venezuelan gang leader charged with child trafficking and prostitution. Tropical wave approaching. 2022-2023 hunting season is open. Top Cup, there is hope for TNT. And body parts floating off Chagaramas. And these are the stories currently making way in the Express. So we head over to the Newsday. Inside the Newsday, Duke budget allocation should stabilize the lives of Tobagonians. Murdered Allied security guard laid to rest. Security guard laid to rest. Decomposing body found in Lavantil. Woman charged with killing baby in New Grant denied bail. Cummings, St. Michael's home to reopen. Kojo, focus on development. UNC, Rowley's lavish party while asking citizens to sacrifice. Amin, government disconnected from reality. Autopsy, UE staffer strangled and beaten. Media veteran Ed Fong dies. Marval man charged with drug trafficking. Taluk Singh dedicates National Award to Invisible Men, Voiceless Children. Prestige Holdings reports $37 million profit. Young Gonzalez dismiss Mark's Wassa energy claims. 23 new COVID-19 cases in Tobago. Campbell excited about BPTT presidency. Additional ferry sailings for Tobago Carnival. Woman put on bond for 2006 fraud offenses. Paramilitary youth group launched. Funeral of murdered Guapo mother's son set after 2-year wait. Tobago woman ordered to pay friend for land sale. Cops thwart hold up at businessman's home for bandits shot dead. And these are the stories making way in the Newsday as we head over to the Guardian. Headlines in the Guardian: Cops kill 4 bandits. Cops kill 4 bandits in Miaro home invasion. It was a traumatic morning for a Miaro family on Monday after armed bandits stormed their home. However, a quick response from police left 4 of the 7 gunmen dead. Dottin at funeral of slain guard. Lawless nation can't fight crime with assassins roaming. Alwari admits TNT is hurting. Hines calls on opposition to support polygraph bill. Rambali, government out of touch with reality. Trini Boy shakes things up at the Voice UK with Soca hit. Shamfa, government to order 9 aircraft for inter-isle service. UNC councillors call for probe after Grandi Corp records disappear. Papa you. Tabakit residents blame poor drainage for collapsing houses. Newsman par excellence. Ed Fong dies at 97. Miami Broward Carnival gets a taste of TNT culture thanks to NCC. Mom of 2 placed on bond for using forged checks. Man wins property case against ex-friend. Alleged Venezuelan gang leader charged with child trafficking. Differently abled children told, "We are going to do big things." UWI engineer tells government, reveal names of roads to be fixed. UWI historian, Kolpat should not be stigmatized as a symbol of poverty. I was saying the same thing. EPA buys food in bulk to assist struggling members. And these are the stories that are making way in the Guardian, the Express, and the Newsday at this time. So you, as we say, you go there, snatch up the papers of your choice, see what's happening. So at this point, I turn you over to Mr. Dominic Romain. Dominic?
Yes, sir. Morning all. Morning to all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. And the troubles alike. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Mr. P, Mr. and Mrs. Reggie's morning. Morning, Angie. Morning to Mother Tunapuna. Manu, morning.
I come in there, Dominic.
Yeah. Good morning to Patsy Edwards, Nicole Caesar, Flavia Andrews, morning to you guys as well. To all of the Allisons, good morning. To all of you guys. To the folks taking us in on Facebook and YouTube, pleasant morning to all of you all as well. On this, I don't even know what date it is. Yeah, but good morning all. Right. So a few things to touch on today. Quite a bit happening in and around the country. But there was a couple things in particular that I wanted to touch on. First of all, the misleader or the ringleader of the opposition. So the misleader put out a post, or rather, hold on 1 sec, let me get it here. I don't want to misquote. Shameless. No. And I say shameless because of the malicious intent of this press release or the statement that the misleader, ringleader of the opposition put out, when she ought to have known better. But then again, I expect nothing different from her, right? So, and she posted, first of all, she posted it proudly on her Facebook page. And Ruth mentioned the article just now. Opposition leader says PM continues to disrespect citizens. Now, before I get into that, right, I just want to again admonish some of the ministers to be a little more careful in some of the things that they're saying, because we have a media, and as I always say, we don't have journalists in this country, we have bacchanalists, right? Who are looking for every and any opportunity. And remember, the so-called journalists are themselves citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who would have their political biases, who would have their own personal opinions and feelings with respect to the reduction in the subsidy through the increase in the price of fuel. And so they too would have their axe to grind, and any opportunity that they get for them to be able to present the government in a negative light, they seem all too happy to do that. So we've seen Shampa Cudjoe, Marvin Gonzalez, Keith Scotland, to a lesser extent the Prime Minister, and them just jumping on that bandwagon, choosing certain things that the ministers say to create this big uproar. And so now Facebook, of course, is awash with memes with respect to that. So just to be a little more cautious, because I'm also seeing to some extent, PNM, people that I know to be PNM supporters, posting stuff on Facebook, expressing their disappointment and at some of the statements that have been made, whether or not they were taken out of context, but anyway. So the misleader, ringleader of the opposition, proudly put out a press release yesterday. Opposition leader says the PM continues to disrespect citizens. Opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar says Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley continued to disrespect citizens when he hosted a lavish and expensive party for himself and his wealthy friends at Millefleur last Saturday. According to a press release from the opposition, this government is totally detached from reality and is leading the country down a path of anarchy. And it reads, Keith Rowley continued to disrespect citizens last Saturday at Millefleur when he totally ignored the suffering of the poor and working class and instead hosted an expensive and lavish party for himself and his wealthy friends, which was paid for with taxpayers' dollars. It was a most evil act of incitement against citizens, reminiscent of the behavior of detached tyrants and dictators. The latest provocation comes on the heels of statements from PNM ministers schooling the population, and she goes on to talk about Marvin Gonzalez, Shampa Cudjoe, Keith Scotland, Brian Manning. Reporting on the lavish event, she said taxpayers' dollars were used to have transformed Millefleur into a period reminiscent of the 1900s, complete with large bouquets of roses. To add to the opulence, women were dressed in corsets and long skirts, complete with hats, gloves, and umbrellas, while the men wore suits, white suits. Keith Rowley and his government uses taxpayers' money for roses and rosé champagne but none for paying workers, none for the fuel subsidy, none for road repairs, none for subsidizing utilities, none for children's education, none for senior citizens. And this opulent party for Rowley and his wealthy friends is a hateful provocation to the citizens of this country. And this government is totally detached from reality and is leading the country down a path of anarchy. And I call on the government to withdraw this evil budget and to treat the poor and working class with respect. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. I would posit that the only person who is causing provocation to the citizens with this press release is Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The only person, right? And I say this because I am well pleased to call her out as being an inveterate liar with respect to this, right? Because contrary to what she is stating here, and what is even worse, and let us make no mistake about it, this was deliberate. Because this article in I think today's Guardian is not a case where Mrs. Persad-Bissessar would have made some sort of off-the-cuff statement or comment at a Monday night forum and the media pick it up and they decided to report on it. She put out a press release. This, what I just read for you here, is an actual press release that she put out. The government did not pay for that event at Millfleur on Saturday. No taxpayers' dollars was used to host that event, right? And the misleader, the ringleader of the opposition ought to know that quite well, because if she has the resources and the wherewithal to be able to go and dig up and get people's private information, such as Faris Al-Rawi and Foster Cummins' private information, to get copies of people's, what do they call it? The declaration, the Integrity Commission declaration, to get copies of people's certified copy. She could get copies of source of funds declarations, all of these things that are private and confidential. But you couldn't get the correct information with respect to that event that took place at Millfleur on Saturday. Or you had the correct information, but you so wanted to add fuel to the fire because you realize that right now, okay, people are upset, and it hasn't helped with some of these statements that some ministers have made. And on top of that, so you're looking now to build the momentum because you find, okay, Trinidad and Tobago is a 9-day wonder and it's not 9 days yet. And you don't want that to die down, so you want to capitalize on. But let me tell you, right? I am calling Kamla Persad, see with respect to this, I am calling her out as a damn blasted liar. And the UNC love to post up, they have a meme they love to post on Facebook. It's a clip with Mr. Manning saying, show me a liar and I'll show you a thief. Yeah? Show me a liar and I'll show you a thief. And I am calling Kamla Persad-Bissessar out this morning as a liar, right? And I could speak to that. Because when I came back from abroad on the 6th of September, right? And Bruce, you would recall that when I came into the studio the morning, and I told you the reason why I came back, even I came into the studio, even though I came back after 11 the night before, was because I had a meeting the following morning at Millfleur with the chairman of UDCOT. And when I got there, my chairman informed me that it's not one but 2 meetings we had. And the second meeting was with a group of people who were planning this very event, right? The team included the CEO of Angostura and his team. Mm-hmm. There was a representative from Special Branch because he indicated that on account of the fact that the Prime Minister would be in attendance and he would be giving a speech and he'll be the featured speaker, that the protocol is that Special Branch has to do a security sweep of the venue and so on, and they have to work out the logistics with respect to security. There was a gentleman by the name of Clint Adia, who is an events coordinator with Brian McFarlane, because the entire thing, Brian McFarlane did everything, all the deco and whatnot and stuff, and the whole planning of the event, right? He was entrusted with that. And there was one person, I can't remember the lady's name, from the office of, not the office, the Prime Minister's household, and Angostura, who hosted, organized, and paid for that event on Saturday. Not the taxpayers' money, as this liar, this inveterate liar who's putting up herself to be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, put out in a press release to gaslight the population, right? And so that was the team there. We met that morning. We did a walkthrough. We walked around Millfleur, right? Questions were asked and so on, and suggestions were made at that point in time. And I recall one gentleman made a recommendation because it was at that point that the folks from Brand McFarlane mentioned, they would have people wearing costumes and so on from the period when Millfleur was built and all of that. And the whole brand design that they had, and somebody suggested, well, we could have a horse. And one guy commented, well, Angostura had the money, so hey, bring it. Yeah. So that event was hosted by Angostura because it was part of the patriotism art exhibition that was held at Millfleur, Stallmeyer's Castle, and the Whitehall, right? Angostura had their exhibition at Millfleur, FCB had theirs at Stallmeyer's Castle, and Central Bank had theirs at Whitehall, right? And it was supposed to be closed off on the 23rd of September, and then it was extended by 1 week. So since the 6th of September, long before the budget, Angostura had been planning this thing, right? And they organized and they knew what it is that they want. The guest list was supposed to comprise 300 specially invited guests, primarily persons from the diplomatic corps. So you had all of the ambassadors there and their wives. So is this one as a guest and whatnot and stuff. Specially invited guests. Yeah. So it had nothing. So when Mrs. Prasad Bisesa comes now and puts out a press release, and what's even worse, Bruce, and that's why again I have to say it, we don't have journalists in this country, we have back analysts. Because the lady from the Prime Minister's household, the reason why she was there was because Angostura asked them to assist with the guest list, right? Because the Prime Minister's residence would have the protocol list of all the ambassadors and who you send invitations to, and right. So if it's the ambassador and wife or ambassador and whoever, right? Because they wanted to be very specific as to who they put on, what they put on the invitation. Because they say some people sometimes tend to get offended if you put so and so and guest, right? So they wanted to know who have a spouse and whatnot. So that is why she was there to give them access to that list, and she assisted. So it wasn't any taxpayers' money that was spent on that event. Dr. Rowley didn't host any party, lavish party for himself and his friends, right? As this liar is putting out in the public space to get people angry for them to say, well, they increase the price of fuel, but they have money to, and they say they have money, but they have money to throw big lavish party and have people in costumes and roses and stuff and all of that, right? Up until yesterday when I was at Millfleur, Angostura have a big sign in front of the building. There's a reason why the chairman of Angostura gave a speech on Saturday. Because Angostura funded it. That was an Angostura event, not a government event, not a Keith Rowley event. But again, I repeat, show me a liar and I'll show you a thief. Right? A word to the wise is sufficient. And I'm speaking here to the members of the literati who are listening, right? Who like to support all their leader. And always calling Dr. Rowley Row liar. Well, I am calling out your leader this morning as a damn blasted liar. That is what she is. And she ought to know. So whoever was the spy that got invited to that event and they went back and report to her and tell her all kind of thing and she couldn't wait to jump out herself. I don't know if she was upset because she didn't get an invitation and probably felt that she should have. Yeah? But your leader is a liar. I calling her out this morning as a liar. And I trust and hope that others will too. And hopefully Angostura will put out a statement when they see this article, clearing up this whole issue, and again calling her out for what she is. Deliberately misleading the population. She find that they ain't riot yet.
Yeah, things
so let me get them something to riot.
Things ain't too good, man.
It go too good. She probably find that the little protest they had outside the parliament, what it was a little too sedate now. Yeah? Nobody ain't get locked up. No bottle and pelt. Yeah. So she needed to stir up the pot a little bit. Come out and do something now. I saw a clip with some clown talking about how Dr. Rowley, they should assassinate Dr. Rowley, assassinate ministers and all kind of thing. Yeah. Another LB, they're always there up front and center, right? To be recorded. And the clown who recording it. And I don't say that. Yeah, I don't go. But you have no problem posting it, right? They show up. Look, one of their own. Hear what she's saying. Stupid. Yeah? So I'm calling out your leader this morning for what she is. A liar. Right? Moving right along. So So I got in late last night, Bruce. Anjay, morning. So I got in late because so there's a French naval ship in town. It's by the cruise ship complex there. It's actually an OPV, and it's normal port of call is in Martinique, but it's here for about I think 5 days on a diplomatic mission, and they're meeting with members of the local Coast Guard and all of that. So the French ambassador hosted a cocktail event last night, and I would have attended that. So you had members of the diplomatic corps, ambassadors, and so on and whatnot there, right? And several members of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. Now I raised the issue because I was afforded the opportunity to have a conversation with some senior Coast Guardsmen last night. And during the course of it now, the ship is huge, right? But actually, there are two vessels anchored by on that area. There is that naval ship. I think it's called the Victros or something. I can't remember the name of it. And there's a mega yacht parked up outside the Hyatt that belonged to one of the co-founders of Microsoft. Yeah, you should see it. It's a massive yacht. Yeah. And it was purchased by some billionaire heiress or something, and she's in town stocking up on food and whatnot and thing. I think they were in Barbados, and they went to get the amount of supplies that they wanted, so they came to Trinidad. Yeah. So if they had an opportunity and persons passing, just take a look by the Hyatt and you'll see it. A beautiful vessel. But anyway, so I'm talking to these officers last night, right? And so I said to them, I said to one of them, I said, so when are we getting one of these? Now, as I said, it's a huge vessel. They actually have this massive helicopter on the vessel, right? So it's as I said, it's an OPV. One's kind of similar to what it is we would have had, which was ordered by the Manning administration, and it was cancelled by the Prasad Bisesa administration. Yeah, nice vessel. You see it. And when I asked that question, Bruce, one of the fellas said, "You say you're familiar with the about turn in the Defense Force?" I said, "No." You show me about it.
Oh, good.
Right? But the guy came back, Bruce, and I'm talking to about 3 of them. And I said, these are senior Coast Guardsmen who were actually involved in the training aspect for the use of the OPVs. But I learned last night it wasn't just that they were involved in the training. They were actually involved in the construction and the design and construction of these vessels. Bruce, and these guys, they're telling me about it was almost as if to some extent they were kind of happy that they had the opportunity to speak about it, because there were all kind of pent-up frustrations over that.
Oh.
Let me just put it this way, Bruce. You ever see a big man, eye full of tears, and he had to walk away to compose himself? Yeah, it was that bad. Because this man is telling me, he said, you know what it is to be training in the UK away from your family for 2.5 years. That in that time, just before he was deployed, his wife was pregnant and she was about to give birth, and he came back for 1 week, right, when she gave birth and so on. And he said, you know what it is, for 2.5 years you over there, and you only seeing your child on a screen, right? You make that sacrifice. And just as the boat is about to launch to come back to Trinidad, you get a call saying, project cancelled. Come back home. The man said, there's a side that the population didn't know about, and the side of it that the population is not aware of. The psychological and emotional side. That you invested 2.5 years of your time, 2.5 years of your life that you can't get back, into something that you became emotionally attached to, and then to have it pulled out from under you. He said men came back here, families mash up, marriages mash up, people come back, they're estranged with their children, all kind of thing. He said when they came back here, it was like a total emotional disconnect. They didn't even give them time to say, well, okay, to understand, well, there's that side of it. It's like you come back, one day they just come and say, hey, look at ticket, you're going back home, project cancelled. Right? And come back home, and he said in less than a month, they had to just send them back out, and as if nothing happened, normal. In between the time when the partnership came in and were trying to make a decision what they're going to do with the project, he said they stopped paying them, so they're up there having to do little odds and ends and that kind of thing, trying to find ways to keep themselves occupied. And every day asking the seniors, well, what's going on? We don't know, but we don't know. And it was. You can see the guy says there's not, and he said there's nothing political. He said, but we knew the value of those vessels. He said because it had some Brazilian sailors and stuff from the Brazilian Defense Force who were up there at the time too, and they were jealous of the vessels. Because he said it was first in class. There were no others like that in the world, because what the original specs was that it was supposed to have been a single purpose hull, and they would have given their input making it a multi-purpose hull and all the different things that they felt Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard needed. So they had intimate input into the design and construction of the vessels, right? It's all this stupid talk about what the gun wasn't working and all them kind of thing. It was just a poor and petty excuse for them to cancel the thing because of politics. Because you knocked it before you came into office. And then when you come into office, now what are you going to do when you realize it good? You come in and say it was wrong? No. So you had to follow through and cancel it, right? He said when sometime after that, a couple years after the Brazilians took possession of it, they brought one here, and he and some of the officers who were training were invited to come and view the vessel. And he said, no, we couldn't. He said we couldn't. We were just emotional. We were still so emotionally tied and invested that we could not bring ourselves to go on that vessel. That's the side we didn't hear about. So the broken families and the broken marriages because of these hypocritical bastards. Politics. So while we're boasting and bragging, oh, we cancel it, we get back $1 billion and whatnot and stuff. How that $1 billion help the families that all you mash up? The marriages that you were caused to mash up? How that helped? We could have had 2 of those vessels.
Well, that is it.
Yeah. 2. And I mean, the ship, it's impressive. Right? And it plays a pivotal role in curtailing drug trafficking and human trafficking. We could have had 2 of those, Bruce. 2. What they do with $1 billion? That they get back, right? Because remember, they were earning the highest energy revenues in the country's history. What that spend on? I wonder if Central could tell me what that money spent on. Which road they pay for that Central? What they spend that on? What they build? They use that for the Couva Hospital? No, they didn't, because they took a loan from the Chinese to build the Couva Hospital. They used that to build the National Aquatic Center or the cycling center? No, they didn't, because they took loan from the Chinese again to build that too. So what they do? What did they build with that $1 billion center? They give it to the poor. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they get the poor out, right? So when I listen now, Bruce, to these hypocrites with the crocodile tears, oh, they're so concerned about the poor and they're so concerned about the poor.
Everything now is the poor.
Yes. So you mentioned there just now about Champa Kojo mentioning about the $59,000 phone bill. And Kamala Prasad-Bissessar mentioned it to talk about how the government is uncaring and they could spend $59,000 on a phone bill. But like she forgets, she spent $6.1 million on 452 helicopter rides from Queen's Park Savannah to the Pink Palace in Philippines, when the Prime Minister's residence was less than 5 minutes away from her office by St. Clair Avenue there. She forget that. So, to the illiterati you listening, let's juxtapose 59,000 and 6.1 million. I know, and we ain't talking Kamala Matrix here, right? I know the maths might be a little tough for you. 59,000, 6.1 million. Which one is more? Which one could do more? Which one could pave more road?
Why are you trying to
Which one could have buy more laptops? Which one could have feed more people? The 59,000 or the 6.1 million? But this is the person all you want to tell us is well poised to be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And the 15 million that she spent when she went to India, what we get from that? 59,000 phone bill, 15 million trip to India. What we get? Which one could have buy more laptops? Which one could have paved more potholes? The 59,000 or the 15 million? Well, I know if we're talking Kamala Matrix, it would be the 59,000. We ain't talking Kamala Matrix this morning. We're talking old school mathematics. 15 million, 59,000. Which one making more sense? Let me go again. $11.1 million to convince a man to become the Minister of Finance. And then you pay him $40-something thousand a month for 4 years as Minister of Finance. 11.1 million, 59,000. Which one is more? Which one could have done more? 11.1 million, 59,000. All you want to go there? Really? So talk to me now. Talk to me this morning. You all seem to forget the wastage. Yeah? 20 million happiness campaign. Newspaper ads, radio ads, TV ads to tell you and me what it means to be happy. 20 million, 59,000. How she ain't talking that? How she ain't talking that? The 2 million that she spent to lease a plane to go to Brazil. The 2 million that she spent to lease a plane to go to South Africa. The 2 million that she spent to lease a plane to go to China. 59,000, 6 million. Which one more? Which one could do more? Help me, please. So when it is that she, your leader, the ringleader of the opposition, want to come and talk about who spent what money and 59,000 and who out of touch with reality, miss me with that BS, eh? Miss me with that.
Dominic?
Yes, sir.
Let us go to the break and we'll be right back.
Don't come on.
We'll be back, guys. Keep it locked.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for the program The Final Hour with Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr. and his wife, Nikki Garcia, for the Bible study every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mark chapter 16, verse 15 says, "Go into all the world and preach this gospel for every creature, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation."
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., to the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., The Law and You, and every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All Night Prayer Live, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, "He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God." Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Want to furnish your home in style? Stylus Furniture Mixed is possible. Shop using our affordable layaway options to purchase any of our modern sectionals, dining, living room, or bedroom sets, and receive a dinner voucher for two at Atelier's Restaurant and Lounge. For further information, contact us at 652-2542, 652-2688, and 790-1202. You can also visit any of our branches located at 101 Crackness Village, Princestown, and 51 Rushwood Street in San Fernando. Stylus Furniture, for the style in you.
91.9 is counting down 91 days of Christmas. Yes, 91 days of Christmas. It's karaoke, prizes to be won, giveaways. It's the 91 days of Christmas on the street. 919 FM.
I could sing a good serenade. Oh, it's Christmas.
Tune into the street 91.9 FM
Every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinal Thomas.
The scripture says, "And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in."
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle Tuesday morning from 11:05 to 12 noon. Right here on the street 919 FM.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the street 919 FM. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me." John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
Every Friday, it's all about Firewood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Firewood Soca Fridays on the street 919 FM. You don't know.
Good, that boat I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat I look like it was wet.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're locked on to the Street 919 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy with Dominic Romain and Bruce Wayne. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
I see you send something there.
Yeah, play that for me, please.
Right, get that there. Nice.
To spend money. Wow. In order for a government to spend money, somebody has to be taxed. Somebody has to get taxed, or some place has to get taxed for a government to spend money. Understand that. So if you're getting something X place, you're being taxed Y place. And taxation, yes, is unfair. Because you see, I know a house in Trinidad and Tobago where 4 people are now over 60. 4 people, they receive pension grants of $3,500 per month, which makes it $14,000 per month in pension grants. They also work at cash jobs, double taxis, them kind of thing. And I know to a fact that they never put a cent in national insurance. They never paid income tax because they have always been cash-related business. Now, is that fair to the people who get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go to work, be taxed in a salary on a pay-as-you-earn, and have a hard time receiving pension grants because of NIS, etc.? They balance this thing. Think about it. So is Shamfa Cudjoe really, really wrong?
That was Fuad Khan, former Minister of Health under the People's Partnership Government, right? And until recently, well, I don't know if he's still, well, I suppose he's still a member of the United National Congress. But he's now on the Makarab because he dared to challenge Mrs. Prasad Bisesa for leadership of the party, right? Okay. And I want to beg the members of the UNC who listen to this program to take off all your political hat for just 1 minute and just take in what he just said there, right? He knows one household in which you have 4 persons over 60, right? Who collect pension, $14,000 with our government money, your taxpayers' money. As he said, they worked cash jobs all their lives, selling double, driving taxi and so on. So they never pay no PAYE. Yeah? No PAYE. Only cash jobs. And they're still doing that to an extent, right? $14,000 a month in pension, government pension. Having not contributed 1 dime other than maybe through VAT, but in terms of direct taxes on their earnings, never contributed a single dime, never contributed a penny near farthing to NIS, but they collecting $14,000. Yeah? And as he said, is that fair for the man who had to get up every morning at the crack of dawn, 4 o'clock, so he could catch the bus or the maxi for 5 o'clock to get to work on time? And at the end of the month, a chunk of his pay going to the Board of Inland Revenue. Money coming out for health surcharge. Those folks who collecting that $14,000 never pay health surcharge. But if they get sick, they go in the hospital and they get in free care, courtesy those of us who pay. Is that fair? Well, I ain't complaining about them. That's all right. And that's all right. You know what? You know how they are able to get that? Through subsidies. Through transfers. So they enjoy the best that Trinidad and Tobago has to offer the backs of those of us who contribute, who have no choice because of the professions and careers that we are in. We have no choice. But we can't go down to the HR department and say, hey, don't take out no PAYE this month. We can't do that. It come out. It goes to the board and we can't say don't take out no NIS and no health surcharge. I can't go and say, hey, the healthcare system in the country is a mess. Don't take no health surcharge from my pay. No, it has to come out. But those guys enjoying life. And when she talk about sacrifice, she talking to them people too, right? Because I show them complaining to about the price of gas so high. Whatever contribute? Nothing. But you all enjoying the spoils. And? But complaining. But for those of us who don't have our choices, all they'll have to talk about taxpayers' money. Taxpayers. They don't understand when you see, that is a term we use loosely in this country, as the taxpayers' money. Not everybody in this country paying tax, eh?
True.
Understand that? And now I want to come and talk about VAT, when people paying tax to VAT. Man, the next time you go to the grocery, you know, Bruce, sometimes when I go to the grocery, I love to go and stand up in a line where it have people with 2 trolleys. Even though I have to wait. I love to do that. You know why? Because by the time they finish cash and they move off, before the cashier clears the register, I look at to see how much money that they spend, and I look at the section VAT. And sometimes you'll see people spend $2,500, $3,000. Now when you look at the amount of VAT, $150, $89. Yeah? I don't think I've ever seen VAT crossing $200, where you spend $2,500, $3,000. And when we're talking about VAT, and the government cannot take VAT off for 7,000 food items and really put back on the VAT and all kind of stupidness. The next time when you go to the grocery, please look at your bill, look at your receipt and see how much VAT you pay. Look next day, because the VATable items, you could see it on the bill too. Run through all the bill and see. So when all want to talk that janjat about Kamla take off VAT on 7,000 food items and really put it back, check and see how many items you're really paying VAT on. But all of you who are suffering from cognitive dissonance, which seems to be a chronic plague in the UNC, even though you watch all your bill, it didn't make a difference. It didn't make a difference. They will still come on the airwaves and come on the live and talk that stupidness. Most of the basic food items are VAT-free. Half all you even know that. When this administration came in 2015, a lot of them things ain't touch. But all when you running all your mouth all day and talking about Rowley put back VAT and don't even know because why? You ain't studying the bill. All you complaining the price of food, so how much all you really watch all your bill? Look, anyway, I digress. Right? I just thought I would put that out there, right? So what can he was from Ole camp. He was never, as far as I know, he was never paying him. As UNC. He's saying that. But when we say it, they're drinking Balize juice. Yeah? Yeah. So apparently Fuad drinking Balize juice too. Huh?
Somebody just gave him a cup.
Yeah. It's a taste that's not Fuad, you're gonna like it.
Guaranteed you fit this.
Yes. Yeah, well, apparently it gave some sense. Yeah? Bruce, I want to again, as I did on Sunday morning, call out the hypocrisy of the UNC. Can't miss it. Right? My broadcast was interrupted because of a power outage on Sunday morning, so I really didn't get to, expatiate as I wanted to. And I ain't really had the time this morning. But I just wanted to touch on something again, right? An article that I read from 2013, Guardian article, entitled, Is Now the Time to Cut, let me get it, Is Now the Time to Cut the Fuel Subsidy? And I just wanted to quote one thing here. I ain't going to read as much as I did on Sunday. The words of then Minister of Finance, one Larry Hawaii, and I would stress, the man that was paid $11.1 million to become the Minister of Finance, so that when Dr. Rowley says the rich, there's nothing wrong with the rich getting richer, but the poor must come out of poverty. And one doesn't need to go down for the other one to come up. They always forget that part. All they know is Rowley say nothing wrong with the rich getting richer. Well, apparently, Kamla Persad had a similar philosophy. When in inviting Larry Hawaii to leave his post as CEO of ProCitizens and to join her 33, at that time 32-member cabinet, right? Largest cabinet in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. So all them unnecessary ministers. So Keith Rowley has a cabinet of 23. Yeah, Angie. Kid Rowley has a cabinet of 23. She had a cabinet of 33, right? And I always make the comparison that when she was prime minister, Barack Obama was the president of the United States. She, right, governing a country of 1.4 million people, had a cabinet of 33 persons. Barack Obama, who was president of a country with a population of 335 million people, had a cabinet of 23 people. Yeah? So he could govern 335 million people with 23, but she needed 33 to govern 1.4 million. Yeah? Consider that. But that wasn't jobs to the boys. No. All the extra salary, that the extra additional 10, because he'd only doing it with 23, 10 less. So that extra salary, that the additional 10 that she had, right, they were getting. That could have paved road. That could have buy laptop. How much poor people that could have feed? Yeah? One minister's salary. How many CPAP workers that could have paid for the fortnight? For the month? So they wasn't studying that there. No. This administration wicked and evil and wasted money. Kamala wasn't doing that. No, not at all. That was a well-run government. Right? Yeah. They knew how to manage money well. They weren't squandering and wasting. Let's see if I get this here. Right? Let's know. Yes, here it is. It may be argued, and I want to make this point. Larry Howard, when he made this statement, right? He made this statement in the Senate of Trinidad and Tobago in February of 2013. And he came to, after he had the budget in September, October, he come and begged for another $2 billion because money was running out. You know, oil prices was high and they got a little extra kakada, so he come to take some more, right? Because, hey, we can't just leave that money still on there and we could build thing and thief. So let me come and see how much more I could get, right? Okay. So, yeah. When he made this statement, he was speaking not in his own personal capacity, but the fact that his statement was made in the Senate represented government policy. So every word that came out of Larry Howard's mouth when he made that statement in the Senate was representative of the 33-member cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago at the time, of which Kamala Persad-Bissessar was the head. So whatever he said, right, was the views of his colleagues in the cabinet, because he would have had to have gotten permission from them, the okay from them to make this statement. Because remember, when you go out there and you speak, you represent the government. You're not representing yourself. And therefore, the government needs to know what you're going and say, because they don't want you to say something that they would have to backtrack on and distance themselves from. Nobody, when Hawaii made this statement, distanced themselves to say, well, that was Hawaii talking, that's not the government talking, that is not the views of the government, right? Similar to when he announced, I think it was in 2014, that the government intended to implement the property tax. And right next to him when he made that statement was Kamala, and she rocked back so, right? And Anil right behind him, and he so. Like he was recovering from the punching-induced coma, right? But yeah, that's how he rocked back so. Like, yeah. The hangover was a little too much. But anyway, here what how I say. There are two measures that can be implemented almost immediately that will ensure the country will be able to balance its expenditure and revenue in the foreseeable future. 2, not 3, not 5, 2. What are the 2? The 2 measures are 1, the elimination of the fuel subsidies, and 2, the introduction of the property tax regime. Let me repeat that. This is Larry Howard, the $11.1 million minister. The elimination of the 2 measures are the elimination of the fuel subsidies and the introduction of the property tax regime. You see why I call these people a bunch of hypocrites? They came into office right in the back of Axe the Tax. No property tax. Yeah, Manning too wicked. Manning want to take all the property and all of that. No tax, don't think. When I become prime minister, I will repeal this draconian property tax act. Remember that? Repeal nothing. She come in 2014 to rest it on all your chest. All you remember that? Yeah, but Rowley is a liar, eh? Yeah, Rowley does lie. Just like when they tell all you, and plenty of all you get chained up in 2010, and as some of you are going to get chained up again in 2025. She talking this talk, but she going to open back the refinery. How? I don't know. Where they, as Dr. Rowley said, where the oil coming from? Apparently, they have a special secret reservoir somewhere, and as soon as she become prime minister, Yeah, they go in and just plant a pipe in the ground and oil. Yeah, boy. Hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil come in. Refinery time. Hey, Rowley couldn't do that. Yeah, magic and abracadabra. All right, we continue. The elimination of the fuel subsidies, again, this is Hawaii talking in the Senate. It's on Hansard for posterity. Elimination of the fuel subsidies will cut billions from TNT's annual expenditure, while the introduction of a property tax regime will add billions in revenue. So when Larry Hawaii says it, representative of the cabinet of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, yeah, man, that's what we're talking about. That is economics. Yes, anti-cams. For the order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, that is Prime Minister. But when Coleman would say it, that old nasty, they're dirty, they don't care about people, they're wicked and evil. Let me point something out here. While Hawaii was saying elimination, you know what that means? Get rid of it completely, totally, right? The government is not prepared to shoulder the burden in any way, form, or fashion. So let the population shoulder the full burden, 100%. Elimination, that's what he said. You know what Embert's saying? Reduction. Let me bring it down. The government is still prepared, right, to shoulder a portion of the burden. Right now it's 50-50. So you pay 50% of the cost, the state will pay 50% of the cost. That is what Imbert said. Imbert is saying get rid of it fully. He is saying that. Imbert said let me cap it at $1 billion, right? Minimum, we prepare to pay $1 billion. But there will be some times in the future when it will work out to more than $1 billion because the price of oil is very volatile. And while we may say based on the price at the time that the budget is read, at this assumed price, it would be $1 billion would be the subsidy. If it is the price goes up, the subsidy would be more, right? Because we can't just be changing, adjusting the price, the cost of fuel every Monday morning. Understand? So it will end up being more than, I think this year it's supposed to be 1.45 billion, even though the intention is to cap it at $1 billion. But Mbut is saying, Dr. Rowley is saying, government of the day, the PNM government is telling you, we are prepared, all right, to shoulder 50% of the burden for now. We ain't going to get rid of it completely. But I know what Hawaii say. Hawaii say get rid of it. We ain't care, to hell with them. You know why? Because when you have $11.1 million in your pocket, courtesy the Prime Minister, if the price of fuel could be what the hell it is, you could afford it. So you cannot commiserate with the poor. The pink palace that she living in down in Philippines. That's poor. Remember when she come into office in 2010 as the Prime Minister? You remember that? Where she get the money from to build it? More than 10 years. Greg is a doctor. She's a liar. Sorry, a lawyer. Yeah? Two of the highest paid professions in the country. Well, you couldn't build house. Yeah? It's piecemeal. For the year, you could only buy 100 blocks and 2 bags of cement. But all of a sudden, you become Prime Minister and house finish. When questions asked now, you come with two old notebook with dog ears to say, well, look, we was, over the course of the years, we used to build piecemeal, and look at here, where we buy this and we put on and in the hardware and all of that. So for 10 plus years, you couldn't build. And in the space of 1 year of coming into office as Prime Minister, all of a sudden it finished. Yeah? Abracadabra. UNC is a bunch of magicians. Right? Yeah. Just like how well you make abracadabra, make the money disappear from the treasury between 2010 to 2015. So now we understand why it is that the exchequer account went from 10 billion in overdraft when they came in 2010, the highest it had ever been. When they left office, $33 billion permanent overdraft. Yeah, we understand why. You see? Because as based on the IMF report that I read on Sunday, a report that the IMF did in 2016, which spoke to the fact that they so wanted to curry favor with the population, right? They so wanted to do things in a manner to try and bribe the population rather than engage in proper economics. That there were times, years when they could not afford to pay the subsidy. And so they were owing Petrotrin because they didn't have enough revenue from the energy sector and the non-oil sector to pay Petrotrin their subsidy. So what they do? They in arrears. So Petrotrin now don't have money because the government owing billions in subsidy. I think at the end of 2012, it was $7.1 billion in subsidies that was owed to Petrotrin, contributing to Petrotrin's cash flow issues. Yeah? You study that. Yeah, subsidy, man, subsidy. Yeah, keep the price low because we had to take care of the people. To hell with what happened 10 years down the road. To hell with what happened 20 years down the road as a result of the decisions that they made between 2010 to 2015. Because you know what, if we get a second term after that, we good. The pocket full. So Rowley could come in after that and clean up the mess we ain't care. That was their position. So because they wanted to sustain this unsustainable subsidy, in 2012, the subsidy was $4.45 billion. More money than was allocated to the Ministry of Health, more money than was allocated to the Ministry of Education, more money than was allocated to the Ministry of Agriculture. $4.45 billion to go to subsidy, right? So when Petrotrin was catching the nenen, because what Petrotrin did, they decided to hold the taxes ransom. Yeah, they held the taxes ransom. But the taxes wasn't sufficient to cover the liability that the government had to them. And of course, that would have impacted Petrotrin. But I continue. I want to read this too. You see, because when they want to talk the refinery talk, Fasad Bisessa telling Olia and taking chain up. Yeah, because she know what Somalia like to hear. Where the only thing between this air and that air is an echo for Somalia. Right? So, well, you understand. Let me read this for you. Let me go there. Come, let this thing come up here. Oh gosh, wait, when I do that now, not now. Right. So, let me get this here. So in 2014, two people made statements, two people of consequence or two people of note in the energy sector. The Minister of Energy, Kevin Ramnarine, and the then President of Petrotrin, a man by the name of Khalid Hassan Ali. Mr. Hassan Ali did an interview with a publication called the Oil and Gas Journal on the 16th of July, 2014. And here it says, Trinidad and Tobago state-owned Petrotrin is blaming the shale gas revolution in the U.S. and lower crude prices at Cushing, Oklahoma, for its decision to, here they say, significantly reduce its refinery throughput to 120,000 barrels a day from 180,000 barrels a day. Let me repeat that for you, right? Trinidad and Tobago state-owned Petrotrin is blaming the U.S. shale gas revolution and lower crude prices at Cushing, Oklahoma for its decision to significantly reduce its refinery throughput. So they cut the amount of oil that they were refining at Petrotrin by 33 1/3%. It's 2014. Petrotrin's President Khalid Hassan Ali told the Oil and Gas Journal that the decision, here it is, was an attempt to limit the company's losses, not profits, to limit the company's losses at its Point-a-Pear refinery and to avoid going out of business like two other Caribbean refineries. In case you went in your fridge, my friend from New Jersey, to get a red shandy, right? Or in case you missed what I just said because you had to take a call from your client, Karen Nunes Teixeira, because last week you was de facto defender, this week you is campaign manager. After I don't know if I had time this morning to talk that, but anyway, in case you missed it, let me read this for you again. Petrotrin President Khalid Hassan Ali told the Oil and Gas Journal that the decision was an attempt to limit the company's losses at its Point-a-Pear refinery and to avoid going out of business like two other Caribbean refineries. Why are you taking steps and actions to avoid going out of business if you're not facing the possibility of going out of business? Why are you trying to avoid the shutdown of a refinery if you're not facing that possibility? I just asking the question. Refineries in both Aruba and the U.S. Virgin Islands have been shuttered as Caribbean refineries are facing higher prices for crude on the international market than many U.S. refineries which are benefiting from the continued bottleneck at Cushing. While the 30% reduction in refinery throughput is hurting the company's bottom line, not helping, hurting, Hassan Ali insists that Petrotrin, an integrated company, is allowing its exploration and production arm to carry the ball for the time being. You hear that? The exploration and production arm, not the refining arm. The refining arm, which was the Point-a-Pear refinery, was guzzling money, right? It was bringing the company to the point of collapse so that they had to take stringent measures to avoid shutting down not just the refinery, but Petrotrin in 2014. But apparently 4 years later, he expected the situation to improve. And right. Maro Bechan, Petrotrin's Vice President of Refining and Marketing, said there are significant challenges now facing the company's R&M business, refining and marketing. He explained that Petrotrin had imported 60% of the crude needed for the refinery feedstock, while 40% of the crude came from domestic production. Bechan explained that with global spare refinery capacity averaging nearly 20 million barrels per day of refined products in 2014, it puts a cap on margins. Here it is. He said it is your gross margins that affect your profitability, because it is from your gross margins that you find money for your operating costs, including utilities, inputs, labor, and so on. So they were losing money for every barrel of oil that they imported. Because for every barrel that they import, they pay an X price, but the amount of fuel that they were getting out of that barrel and what they were selling it for, they were losing money. Hence the reason the refinery was losing money. We go on. Bechan said the closure of refineries in the Caribbean was not necessarily a global trend because there continues to be the construction of modern, efficient refineries. And he pointed out as an example Saudi Arabia. He said the shale development is happening against the backdrop of the U.S. not being able to export its crude, but being able to export refined products. And Bechan argued that this meant that U.S. oil producers can largely only transport crude to refineries in the U.S. Goes on to say, Petrotrin has reduced its sales of refined product to the East Coast market, instead concentrating on its premium markets in the Caribbean. Hassanali said the solution was more domestic crude production, which will reduce the refinery's reliance on higher priced oil. But notwithstanding that fact, rather than improve and put things in place to increase drilling, they cut back on drilling. Yes, cut back on drilling. So how the hell you expect to find new wells if you cut back on drilling? Abracadabra. Yes? So Kamla gets up one morning and she goes out in her backyard. She take out the pruning shears and she cut a piece of branch and she get a divining rod, and then she go down to one of the fields and she walking around with it. So, hey, look right here, Olia. Look, oil here. Oil, stick a pipe there. Let me go again. Hey, oil here. Stick a pipe here too. Yeah? Because, they were about laying pipe. She was about pipe, and more pipe. So she got with the divining rod and she walking around the Petrotrin. Hey, it have oil here too, boy. Stick a pipe here. Right? And you just put a cap and then you open it so, bring a barrel, bring a hose. Yeah, we screw it on. While you have a barrel there, bring it back. Bring barrel, come now, man. Come. And you stick the hose in the barrel, you turn on the pipe and you fill it. And when that barrel full, move it to the next one. That's how it is working. That's how it's working. Well, you want magic. It's always a magician. And so, well, you're cussing the government now. Oh, they're too wicked and they're too... Bruce, yesterday I going through Facebook and I see an ad came up, right, from Trinidad Carnival Diary. It says, Tribe sold out. So I sent a message to my friend who I know does play Master Tribe. I say, hey, what's it cost our costume and Tribe this year? She said, between 6,500 and 7,000. I say, you're playing? She said, but you're asking answers. She playing, her husband playing, and her 18-year-old son playing Master the first time. So that household alone, $21,000. That's just for Master 2 days, eh? She like her all-inclusive fed. Right? So she done tell me, make sure you get my tickets for CIC all-inclusive, VIP to boot. The last time CIC had the all-inclusive fed in 2020, VIP tickets was $1,500 a piece. So assuming they keep the price the same, that's another $3,000. And she like to fit. And she like all-inclusive fed. So that's just one of several. Yeah? But we suffering.
Of course we suffering.
We suffering. Yeah, man. They had to put on additional ceilings, additional flights for Tobago Carnival. We suffering. Hey, probably go kill we. I could only buy half a Blue Band now. And just now they got to start selling a quarter Blue Band in the grocery. I heard Dr. Hart saying Saturday morning on a program on another station there. She was by a shop the other day and she see people coming in to buy one Pampers. They can't afford to buy the whole thing again. It's 2 Pampers at a time. Right.
People always have always been buying Pampers like that.
Always. As a matter of fact, I think it's Huggies or Cheekies or one of them selling a 3-pack in the grocery since 2016. Because my godson, I know his mother used to be buying that film. Since 2016, eh? Right, but anyway, but apparently that is a new phenomenon. Yeah, people be suffering. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have people who feeling it in the roads. I'm not saying that. And I want to commend the maxi taxi drivers in Tobago who have indicated that they intend to hold their hand with respect to increasing the price of fuel. Not fuel, sorry, the transportation costs. But then again, I would expect that from them because remember, Farley gave a whole set of them $25,000 and $30,000 the other day. You know, all who had it hard during COVID and who maxi was down, so they could fix up their maxis and so on to get back on the road. So the THE was very generous. They all come for check, 25, 30 grand. Just so? Yes, so. The benevolence of the great THE secretary. I met him last night. He was on the ship too. Yeah, impeccably dressed. I don't think Watson buy that suit though. Yeah, but yeah, he seemed like a cool fella. But I was able to, I didn't step out myself, Bruce. As tempted as I was to ask him a few questions, I said time and place. Time and place. And that wasn't the time and place. Yeah. So.
Oh, good.
But a boy like he get experience, he know how to walk the floor, eh? Yeah, like he was there by himself, but he know how to walk this one, make a partner. I was told he attends these social events quite regularly. He gets a lot of invitations, so he's quite familiar with the diplomatic corps. He's comfortable, he's in his element. Yeah? All right. Morning to Chief Sec, Pali, Augustine. But don't feel because I meet you last night, me never let up on here, pal. Yeah. Time and place. All right? You should go open the line. I see 7:37.
Guys, you can call us up at 3420081 and 4665391. And kids, remember, at the top of the hour when we come back from the break, we will be giving away a gift in our 91 days to Christmas.
Hey, we gifted today? Very nice.
Yes, we gifted today. Right, so let's see who's out there. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce.
Morning, Jen.
Hi, morning, Dominic.
Morning, Jen.
Morning to all the callers and listeners on 91.9. So much to mention. And only have it big out there with the callers and them and the silent listeners. Morning to you all. There's enough information and according to some evidence that Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is a liar, that she corrupt, and that she has some kind of problem with some certain substance. Pandey said Jack, Verna, Roger, Abdullah, even McCandle, Dagger. So we can't get away from that. It is, the information is out there and them say they have evidence for the facts, some of them. So that make her, to me, not credible to speak on any matter in this country about anything. I want Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, when she's talking, whenever she gets the opportunity to bring back these monies to us. The 400 million payment that was made in advance to Mamu of SIS for the Beetham wastewater project that we never get. Bring back that money. That could help, we all know. The $40,000 given to a pundit and his wife that travel first class to India, bring back that money. The $860,000 for Vidwati, your sister, to be going on state visit with you when you say that you needed somebody to see about your personal affairs. Me and know a personal with a woman that she had to have a next woman to see about, but we want back that too. The $300,000 for the roti in the Prime Minister residence, we want back that. The $6 million for the helicopter ride they used to take when they could have been staying in the Prime Minister residence and your office is just a couple of minutes away. But you have to be riding in helicopter. Me, if that's why you build a heliport on your house up the Pink Palace. We won back with $6 million. The $6.1 million for the fire truck that went down a precipice. That's all they say take that to take out. But when people do the estimate, it's about a couple $100,000. The $16 billion that's all it takes from the National Gas Company, we won back that too. The $6.85 billion that all is spent between 2010 and 15 in the AG's office, we won back all that too. Between the Ministry of Justice, what we get Section 34 in the middle of the night, that we had to march in this country, the largest march ever led by opposition leader, to change that because only make a law to free all your friends and financiers from the UNC. We won back all them billions of dollars all they spent on Attorney General office. So for that ministry, Legal Affairs Ministry, the debt all they leave behind in the Ministry of Attorney General that amount to $137,128,742.16. We won back that too. And the whole expenditure of the UNC government in legal fees that amounted to $1.6 billion approximately, we won back that too. Until they can start to bring back their money, bring back Mamu, let this contract that you have, that you remove the clause that this government is bounded and taxpayers to be paying a contractor millions of dollars every month until 2030. And if you default on a payment, you have to pay all one time, which is billions. Unless you can bring back them thing with Kamla Pasal Bisesa, I don't want to hear you. I don't know about nobody else. You're not credible to me. As Julia David says, is a bad woman based on the information we have and some evidence people have, and you're no good for this country. You need to immediately remove yourself from politics. Let somebody else lead the UNC and go in the Pink Palace that Mr. Mann and God rest his soul. What I say, you couldn't build all the time, and as soon as they become prime minister in this country, build and finish, contractor remove the sign from the trucks and them, so we ain't going to know who it is. Was it SIS? I don't know. And build your house. Go back in the house and live there and stand up on a helipad and watch helicopters on it passing in there. You're not good for this country. Thank you all so much and have a blessed one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. And I would add to that list the 53 million that we spend in rent for the building, the imaginary building in Barataria. We over that. The 88 million you spend on that fence up by the prison in Kulan Grove there. That only protecting what is this Bacano, TTE, Shining Bush, yeah? Well, let Chabasias loose inside it. You like yourself. Yeah, that 88 million only pay for that fence, that Ita food fence. We were back that. The 120 million only spent to outfit one Woodbrook, one Alexandra place, and never use it. Not as public servants step foot inside there in 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days. We were back that too. The 5 million only spent on rent for an empty building. Same building, we won back that too. Right? And the 43 million only spent in rent. That only complaining about money Faris get, but just remember Faris had to pay tax on that money, so it got part of it coming back into the treasury. But the 43 million only spent on rent and never use the building, we were back that too. All right, go ahead, Bruce.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning, Brian.
Good morning to you listeners and callers of 91.9. Bruce and Dominic, the problems with Petrotrans started very early in the period between 2010 and 2015. I can tell you why. At that time, when they recognized that they were having problems with money, they hired Shell Global. That was around 2011, 2012, around there. And we were divided into various teams to find out. Shell Global was brought in to discern a way to make money out of the refinery that was in the fourth quartile. When I say the fourth quartile, your great refineries. The best refineries are in the first quartile. We were in the bottom part of the fourth quartile. I was a member of that team because we were in the operation support team. Right? And we were being lectured on how to extract more yields out of the oil in order to increase monies for the refinery and the company as a whole. Shell Global charged us $22 million. I don't know if it's TT or US, I do not know, or pounds, I don't know that part. That was beyond my grade. But I knew it was about $22 million that they charged for us to find ways to make the refinery be more profitable. They knew, the UNC, the partnership at that time knew that there was a problem. But you know what they did still? Even then, they gave themselves increase in pay. The upper echelons of Hassan Ali went up from $125,000 to $175,000 a month. And the VPs went from about $85 to $89 to $125,000 a month. And they paid themselves back pay. That is what they did. So the the partnership would have known. I don't know if Prasad Bissessa would have known. I don't know. But they who were there in dealing with the refinery knew. They knew there was a problem. And that's why Shell Global had told them, listen, your manpower is too heavy for the refinery. To run the refinery at 140,000 to 160,000 barrels a day, you're not going to be making any money because the yields were not good enough for that quantum of oil, and they had to be purchasing the foreign oil because the local oil could not make up enough to keep the refinery running every day. There was a problem, but they kept it on the down low. They didn't say anything to anybody. They made it look as though everything was okay. So to come now and say how she could launch an investigation and Mr. Jones had to, before he died, God rest soul, had to answer questions and all that crap. They knew, but they didn't say anything at the time. So what they did, they hid it in the books. You understand? To make it look as though the company was making a profit because they amalgamated what was happening down in the fields. And that is why the Prime Minister of today can simply say, listen, the Petrotrain Holdings is now making money. And on top of that, they knew we had an $850 million US loan one-time payment coming up in a few years' time. They knew. So they kicked the can down the road and say, you see me? Let somebody else handle that. They knew it was coming up. So when the PNM got back into power, with all the bills they had to pay, and on top of that, the $6 billion they had to pay to public servants. You understand? They had to find that money because remember there was no money in the treasury. Because Joanna Rambaran sat there and watched the money dwindle and said absolutely nothing until the new finance minister got into office around the 9th of September 2015. They knew. You understand? So they drained the treasury, they drained wherever they could have gotten money from and left it so for whoever come in behind the face. I keep telling people, if it was an experienced set of people coming into government, we would have been in the throes of the IMF. And people have to understand that. Don't be fooled by what they're saying right now. They're hiding things. They hid it then, and they're hiding it now. If Prasad Bissessa, at age 59, 60 as Prime Minister, a newly minted Prime Minister, was taking 5 days off for a week, at age 73, what's she going to do now? Well, she could be 75 by the time 2025 come around. What do you think she could do? You think she seen trouble to run walk already? No. What do you think she's going to do in 2025, 2026, 2027? It could be any better? Who fooling who? And that is the problem. People, be careful who are you voting for, and don't listen to the shenanigans of these people that coming now to say, hey, we going to make things all right. And Rowley this and Rowley that and Rowley this. Where was Teixeira for all these years when things was going bad between 2010 and 2015? Not a word. But that's another story for another day. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And she reversing, she aging in reverse by. Come 2025, she'll be sprightly, she firing on all pistons.
Caller, good morning.
Dominique and Bruce, good morning. Dominique.
Morning.
Hi, morning.
What's going on with you?
I am good.
Dominique, I see you all starring again.
Who's that?
Sandy Grande. Dominique.
Yes,
I want to ask a question this morning. Sandy Regional Corporation. You know it, right? You hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Dominique, you there with me?
Yeah.
The CEO of Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, Madam, what is taking place in Sandy Grande Regional Corporation? I saw on the news last night, Dominic and Bruce, minutes missing. Right? You hear me right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Minutes missing. Madam CEO, I want to ask you a question this morning. The health supervisor, right, from the suspect section, the Montepay person, 2 years, Madam CEO, he's working from home. Madam CEO, and getting traveling, Madam CEO, what is taking place in Grande Corporation, Madam CEO? And you all have young OGT who now working there lying. Madam CEO, does your son-in-law come out to work? Madam CEO, I think local government minister, good morning to you, sir. I think you need to pay Sandy Grande Regional Corporation a visit. Don't let them know when you're going. Madam CEO, the petticoat is showing over your face. I don't know what is taking place up there, Madam CEO. Madam CEO, Bruce and Dominic. So every Monday now, the number is 4. Dominic?
Yes, ma'am.
The number is for every Monday. Week before Monday was 4 in Pennywise in San Fernando. And yesterday was another 4. That 4 is what Dead Man in Playway, right?
Yes.
I gone. Have a good one.
I think we could take another one. Caller, good morning.
Bruce, Dominic, Sharon.
Morning.
Morning. Bruce,
Oui.
I just want to ask a question. I'm not throwing a exclusion, I'm asking a question. Based on what it is Dominic mentioned concerning the age, I've noticed something there, especially in the speech that the lady gave recently, when she said custom and exercise. That was the most blow-mind one for me. And she had a myriad of issues and mistakes. I'm just asking, based on how she is moving, do you think, Madam Opposition Leader, can you tell the citizenry if you are suffering from the onsets of Parkinson's? Because we need to know if it is we're going to vote you or not. We need to know if you have health issues. You always want to know what's going wrong with Dr. Rowley. We need to know what is going on with you, because the behavior and the movements suggest that you are. Dominic, you know anything about how people move when it is they have Parkinson's?
Yes, sir.
Brucey answered?
Yes, he said yes.
Right. Does he think that those behavior patterns are attributed to the opposition leader? Or if there's something else that flies in the sky? I don't know, I'm just asking questions. But nevertheless, based on what it is he exposed again, this whole issue with the art exhibition, but they said who it is had it on the news. On the 7 o'clock news over the weekend, they had who had this exhibition. So I understand that she don't listen to the news, and she advised her people not to listen to the news, especially anytime they see Dr. Rowley's face on it. Don't listen. And I want to say again, that sort of mindset is attributed to people who are running a cult. Go and look it up. Don't take any information except from me. That's the behavior pattern of a cult. People only realize what they're really doing in this country. And Dominic, go and look at the minutes from the select committee, right? The joint select committee over in 2013, 2012, and 2014 on Petrotrin. And you would see that even the then Minister of Energy had no control, because they attacked him when he asked a question. So they knew what was going on. And especially for this gentleman here who's in the parliament presently, to pretend that he doesn't know anything when he was on the Joint Select Committee. And he knows himself, I know how to call name. But he knows himself. He is now in the parliament, and he's pretending like he doesn't know anything when he was one of the members in the JSC. So, Dominic, I wanted to go and check out that, and they would see who was there, and you could let the people know what took place in the meetings.
Right.
People, or they could look for themselves too. Have a nice day.
Thank you. So we just have a few seconds before we go to the break. So we're going to do that, and we will be right back. Remember, when we return, we'll be opening up the lines so that we can give away a gift to a child in our 91 Days to Christmas promotion. So guys, keep it locked to the Street 919 FM. We'll be right back.
You have bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
We are the Street. 919 FM. The only radio station bringing perfect balance between entertainment and talk. Updating you with current affairs and social issues.
So what, we should just sit down and take the foolishness that's being meted out because of you feel that all you're real bad?
Right? Unlike his situation that I don't even want to go back and bring up and highlight.
You don't have a good record where that is concerned?
Having you in the loop with trends and entertainment. Providing music that lives on.
Darling, I feel the disco.
And spiritual food for the body, mind, and soul.
Satan soul face. Enough taking that.
The Street 919 FM.
The legendary Desperados Steel Orchestra presents their fundraising 5K run and walk on Sunday, October 16th, beginning and ending at the Pan Theatre, corner Tragarete Road and Victoria Avenue in Port of Spain. Be treated with breakfast on the morning and a steel band clash afterwards, featuring First Citizens Supernovas, Shell Invaders, and the legends themselves, Desperados Steel Orchestra. Register now for only $125 at baffassports.com/Despers5K or call 283-1365. Breakfast tickets cost only $200 and will be available at the Pan Theatre. It's Desperado Steel Orchestra's fundraising 5K and walk, breakfast and pan jam on Sunday, October 16th. Come and show your love.
91.9 is counting down 91 days of Christmas. Yes, 91 days of Christmas. It's karaoke, prizes to be won, giveaways. It's the 91 days of Christmas on the Street. 919 FM.
I could sing a good serenade. Oh, it's Christmas.
The murder toll continues to rise. The nation is in mourning tonight.
3 people have been found dead.
A soldier was shot dead.
A quadruple murder in Beverly Hills, Laventille.
Where are we right now?
We say bring back love.
Bring back love. How we end up here today. Bring back PP.
Bring back peace. Be your brother's keeper. We say bring back peace on the street.
I want peace. Bring back peace on the street.
Bring back peace on the street.
Bless the world with harmony. There's no greater time for love. No greater time for peace.
Want to furnish your home in style? Stylus Furniture Mixed is possible. Shop using our affordable layaway options to purchase any of our modern sectionals, dining, living room, or bedroom sets, and receive a dinner voucher for 2 at Ateliers Restaurant and Lounge. For further information, contact us at 652-2542, 652-2688, and 790-1 1202. You can also visit any of our branches located at 101 Crackness Village, Princestown, and 51 Rushwood Street in San Fernando. Stylus Furniture, for the style in you.
91.9 Bago Bashment presents on board the Embassy Tobago Carnival Boat Ride Week. Tobago Carnival Boat Ride Weekend. Boarding at the Pigeon Point Jetty. Kicking things off from the 24th to the 30th of October. Walk with your food and coolers. Come experience October 24th. Pan on the boat. October 25th. ISO on the boat. October 26th. Chutney on the boat. Tickets are $200. Available at islandetickets.com or 91.9 FM Tobago. The party continues October 27th. Water on the boat. October 28th. Power Soca. October 29th. Groovy on the boat. October 30th. Juve on the boat. Tickets are $200. Available at islandetickets.com or 91.9 FM Tobago. For tickets, call 814723-363-4030 or 368-1932 or check us out on Facebook at Embassy Cruises for bookings or email at embassycruises@gmail.com. Tobago Carnival Ride Weekend.
Hi, Trinidad and Tobago. This is yours truly, Pastor Charles, streaming live from Port of Spain, Trinidad, Marvel Road, 91.9. Our services start from, 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning from the first, the second, and last Wednesday of the month. We are going to have a T-I-M-E time in the presence of God. We'll be praying, praise God, for our nation. We'll be praying for families. We'll be praying for those that are sick and those that are in need. Tune in to the best station, 91.9 FM Street Live, Port of Spain, Maribel. Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108. Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle Tuesday morning from 11:05 to 12 noon. Right here on the street, 919 FM.
The steel pan, the only musical instrument invented in the 20th century, is a reflection of the perseverance and innovativeness of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, which have always been central to our development as a nation. And the steel pan story epitomizes this, carved out of life and struggle and determination, rising out of the spirit of the African drum. The steel pan stands today as evidence of innovativeness, creativity, and passion for life integral to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Kwesi Paul. Join me each and every Sunday from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight on the street, 91.9 FM.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., to the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., The Law and You, and every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All Night Prayer Live, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Good about I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat I look like it's as well.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So welcome back on the inside. Just a bit of information for you. The Street 909 FM has embarked on a peace treaty as we aim to bring back peace, love, and unity to the streets of Trinidad.